All right, so you're prepping for a networking certification, and you know there's one topic that's absolutely everywhere: the IP address. In this explainer, we're going to demystify it and give you the key insights to help you nail that exam. Let's get right into it. Have you ever really thought about it? How does a video from a server, maybe thousands of miles away, find your phone or your laptop out of literally billions of devices? It feels like magic, but it's not. It's actually a surprisingly simple and logical system of addressing. And once you get the rules, you'll see the foundation of the whole internet. Yep, it all boils down to one simple thing: a digital address. This is the secret sauce that lets your emails, your videos, and all those websites travel from a server anywhere on the planet and land right on your screen. Honestly, the best way to think about an IP address is to imagine the internet as this massive global postal service. Just like every single house needs a unique street address to get mail, every single device, your phone, your laptop, your smart TV, needs a unique IP address to get its digital mail. Simple as that. Okay, now here's a concept that really trips a lot of people up when they're starting out. Your devices don't just have one address. They actually have two completely different types. We've got public IPs and private IPs. Let's break down why that is. And this image right here illustrates the idea perfectly. Over on the left, inside that private box, that's your local network, your LAN. Just think of this as your house. It's where all your devices live. Then on the right, you've got the public internet. That's the outside world. And that router, sitting right in the middle, that's your front door. It's the one and only gateway between your private home and the public street. So, what's the magic trick that makes this all work? It's a process called network address translation, or just NAT. See, your internet service provider, your ISP, usually only gives your entire home just one public IP address. NAT, which your router handles, acts like a receptionist at a front desk. It lets all of your different devices share that single public address whenever they need to go out onto the internet. So let's put it simply. Your laptop uses its private IP to talk to the printer in the same room. But the moment you go to a website like Google, your router steps in and uses its public IP to talk to the rest of the world. This division is absolutely key. Now let's see how all these addresses are organized on a global scale. You can imagine, with billions of devices out there, there has to be some kind of system to keep it all from being a total chaotic mess, right? Well, historically, that system was called IP classes. And for your exam, you absolutely positively need to know them. This chart here shows how IP addresses were originally sorted into different classes. Now, this classful system is a bit old school today, but understanding it is so foundational for your exam. It teaches you how networks were built to scale. Class A networks are gigantic, like a whole metropolis, for huge companies. Class B is for medium-sized networks, kind of like a large town. And Class C, that's the small neighborhood, the one you'll see for homes and small businesses. The main thing to get is this: the very first number of any IP address tells you what class it's in and basically how big it's supposed to be. Okay, pay super close attention to this one. That 192.168 range, that is the classic sign of a Class C private network. You are going to see this address range constantly in your labs, in your exam questions, and probably in your own home network right now. It is by far the most common type you'll ever run into. So think about it for a second. When you connect your phone to the Wi-Fi at a coffee shop, how does it instantly get an IP address? You're not sitting there typing one in manually, right? Of course not. There's an amazing automatic process at work, and its name is DHCP. DHCP is, and I'm not kidding, a network administrator's best friend. Could you imagine having to walk around an office and manually type in an IP address for hundreds, maybe thousands of computers? It would be a nightmare. DHCP is the protocol that just automates that entire process. It's like a little rental agent on the network that hands out temporary address leases to any new device that shows. This whole thing is basically a four-step conversation that happens in the blink of an eye. We often remember it by the acronym DORA. Your device discovers, the server offers, your device requests, and the server acknowledges. DORA. This is a classic exam topic, so make sure you have those 4 steps memorized. All right, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's take a second and lock in the most critical concepts with a little rapid-fire review. These are the distinctions you absolutely have to know cold for any networking exam. This right here is a guaranteed exam question in some form. You got to remember, an IP address is logical. It's like your mailing address. It can change if you move. A MAC address, on the other hand, is physical and permanent, burned into the hardware. It's like a serial number. And here's the real key. Routers use IP addresses to send data between different networks. Switches use MAC addresses to deliver data within the same local network. So, how does your computer find the MAC address of the printer on your network? It uses ARP. Think of ARP as the crucial translator that links the logical IP world to the physical MAC world. It basically shouts out, hey, who has this IP address? I need your MAC address. But, and this is super important, ARP only works on the local network. It never, ever, ever crosses a router. Look, if you write down just one thing from this whole explainer, make it this sentence. This is your ultimate memory anchor. Inside your local area network, switches use MAC addresses for everything. To get out to the internet, routers use NAT and IP addresses. If you can master that one concept, you are well on your way to acing that exam.